Hello and welcome to the Day Ahead. It's Friday, October the 17th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local market is set to open lower with ASX futures off by around 1/3%. Stocks on Wall Street turned negative as declining financial shares and simmering trade tensions between the US and China dampened investor enthusiasm, while gold prices surged. The major US indices reversed earlier gains with the absence of data prompting investors to consider the implications of a protracted trade war between the US and China, while weakness in regional bank earnings further spooked the market. Shares of Zions Bank Corporation tumbled. It disclosed an unexpected loss on loans, adding to growing investor unease about hidden credit stress. Also fueling worries about regional banks, Western Alliance slumped after it said it initiated a fraud lawsuit against one of its borrowers. TSMC, the world's largest manufacturer of advanced semiconductors, gave a bullish outlook for spending on AI. Among those stocks proving to be a drag on the broader market were Palantir, Tesla and Meta. Salesforce jumped after the business software seller forecast revenue of more than $60 billion for 2030, above estimates. The Hewlett-Packard slumped after the tech company forecast annual profit and revenue below expectations. JB Hunt shares, they jumped after the trucking firm reported third quarter profits. And shares in the gold and silver miners gained, tracking the price of the precious metals higher. Well, China has accused the US of stoking panic over its rare earth controls and rejected a White House call to roll back the curbs. This after US negotiators suggested China could avert President Trump's threat to impose 100% tariffs on Chinese goods by scrapping the measures set to take effect on November 8th. Well, Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller has said he supports another interest rate cut at the central bank's policy meeting later this month because of the mixed readings on jobs, saying based on all of the data we have on the labour market, I believe that the committee should reduce the policy rate by another 25 basis points at our meeting that concludes on October 29th. Well, the US 2-year Treasury yield has fallen to 3.41%. The 10-year is down to 3.97%. Markets are pricing in a 95% chance the Fed funds rate will be cut by 25 basis points at the next policy meeting at the end of the month, with around 5 more cuts in total in this easing cycle. The US dollar index is down around 0.5% on the day, and the Aussie dollar has fallen back to 64.8 US cents. Oil prices have continued to slide after President Trump said he and Russian President Vladimir Putin had agreed to meet in Hungary soon to discuss ending the war in Ukraine, casting uncertainty over global energy supplies. Brent crude futures down around 1.5% at $61 a barrel. Copper has fallen 0.8%, iron ore down a similar margin to $105 a tonne, and gold has surged to another record high for the fourth straight session, taking the spot price past $4,300 an ounce as investors flock to the safe haven metal on US-China trade tensions, the ongoing US government shutdown, and the prospect of further rate cuts. And Bitcoin, that has fallen back to around 108,000 US dollars. On the corporate calendar today, among those companies holding AGMs are Australian Finance Group, RPN Global and Silex. That is your Day Ahead. We'll see you again on Monday.